So guys, thanks for staying in tune for video number 4. I'm going to start with getting the front end on and pivoting to make it easier to get in. And stay tuned, because hopefully by the end of this video I can get this running and driving. Alright guys, so what I'm going to do first is I'm going to cut off, there's these little tabs here that the old bumper or whatever you want to call it used to sit. So I'm going to cut these off, extend it about up to like here, about 3 to 4 inches to meet up with here. And then I got angle iron, and I got another piece here so I'm gonna have it like this, so the hinge will it'll hinge like this, and so this piece will be on this part of the fender. It'll be in these parts, which will stiffen up the fender from flapping like this. And this will be hidden by the grill. So I'm going to cut these off, extend it, and put the angle iron on here to figure out where I would need it for this to be on here. So I'm gonna get to cutting. Alright, so I'm stopping on the front end work for now, because I got the hinges on. As you see here, I have the bar on and I have it there. I just got to finish welding stuff and get some more I need to get some latches to have it latch. So as of right now, I'm working on a back bumper. I have this wagon here. It was a repop, one of those newer style radio flyers. So we marked out lines and stuff where we're going to cut it, and we got 2 marks here. We're going to first cut it straight to see how it would look, and if we don't like the straightness, we'll have a curve here. Alright guys, so the battery died. It's the next day, and I cut out the wagon, as you see, and here's how it looks as the bumper. We're not keeping it red. We will change it up, maybe do like a chrome or a metallic color, but there's the bumper. It's not on it all like completely, it's just sitting there like I could take it off. So now we're actually working on figuring out a latch for these 2 pieces so this could hinge up, because as you see, it hinges up now. So here's what I came up with. We bought these latches here from Lowe's, and we were going to just put this on there itself, but there's nowhere that it could really attach to. So then I'll take this piece, mark where it'll need to be cut it, weld this onto this, so then this could be the piece that will go on to there, and it'll look kind of like this. It's hideous, yes, but this was a lighter metal, so I had to be careful, because I did blow out a bit here. But now it'll latch like this, and we'll be able to have this flat piece to be tabs on the door and the fender somewhere. So I'm gonna now figure that piece out for latching, so then we could have it where it doesn't bounce and rattle while driving. So I'm gonna get this one onto the body, and then cut and weld this on like so, and then do that on the other side. My dad had a old repop piece of this chrome here, this spear, and it was all rusty and stuff, so we're not going to use it on the car. So we took it up, measured it up, and we're going to use it on the grill of the go-kart. so we're at the front end now, and as you see, we put some conduit here for like the top of the grill. This here's the very tip of the spear, and we cut this radio flyer for the bumper, and we're not sure how we like it yet, but we got some ideas for it. And then this is the other piece of the spear that's going to go into here, and then we gotta figure out the rest of the bumper. So guys, I'm going to start finishing the fender, and this piece here we got from the wheel well. So what we're going to do is with this is have it come here to complete the look. So I'm going to have to hammer and grind and try to get it to fit the best, so then we could get it to go towards the door, you know, figure it out to get it where we want it to make this end complete, so it's not just this open hole. Alright guys, so we're working on figuring out the A-pillar, and I have this extra piece of wheelbarrow here, and we marked out what we want because it has like a nice curve to it to give it the curve we'd like. So I'm gonna have to cut this out, but then I am gonna have to cut it to make it, you know, fit right. So I'm gonna cut this and then I kind of hold it up to see how much we're gonna have to cut to make it fit. So now I'm gonna work on cutting off the roof. I got this painter's tape here to mark off to where I'm going to cut, and then I got some flat pieces of metal that I'm gonna, once I cut it off, weld on here on both sides so it has kind of a lip to sit in. So I'm gonna cut that and figure out how the length of the hinge needs to be, and then we could work on connecting it to the A-pillar and stuff. Alright guys, so we got the top to hinge, so it hinges, and we have these pieces of metal here to kind of make it go along as if it's still the drip rail, but it also keeps these wedged in. And we do have a gap, and that's because of the hinge right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get weather stripping from a car and put it here to fill the gap. Like I got that piece there, so fill the gap, and then we'll just paint this black to make it look like it's just all one. So now that we got that done, we can move on to other things. And we're kind of not liking how the front end is looking, so we're going to change that up, and we're probably going to do that off camera because it's a lot of we have a lot of ideas for it, and it's kind of too much to film because we go like we move forward, then we step back, then we go forward, then we step back. So we're going to wait on that and figure something else out on that. So as of right now, I'm going to figure out shifting and possibly wires, but as of right now, shifting, because we have to make it go from here to in here somehow, and on the right side, which is usually where the shifter on normal vehicles, well, American-made vehicles. So we're gonna use the original shifter part here, and we just got to figure out. We're we're probably going to have a got this piece of metal here that I'm just going to show. Probably going to have it go here, and then once it's here, go across like so, and then go across this way. And good thing there's these holes already, so we'll go through one of these holes. Probably going to have to drill a hole. Well, we're going to have to drill a hole through the back of the cab, and then we're going to have to mount the shifter to come up, and then we're going to have the hope that it works once we get that all done. And then once we have this here, we'll probably cut this off and cut this one off, and just like as high as we can bolt or have it mounted so when it's pulling, the leverage helps move, so it's not, you know, real hard to push. So I'm gonna get working on that, and once I'm done, I'll show you guys what I have. So guys, I got the shifter done. It's right char. We ended up, I'll bring you along to show you. So we ended up welding the piece here for a tab to hold this bar, and this was off of a riding mower, so we just put it on so it has a knob. We took a straight bar and then a round stock, welded it together, and it comes under here to this tab, which comes up to here, and there's this bar that runs across to this side. I just wired it, that's why this mess is here, and then it runs here, and we welded another tab for the shifter part. So we got all 3 gears forward and 1 reverse, so that's all hooked up. And then I hooked up the throttle cable, hooked up the carb, and so now we're going to try to wire it. Well, I wired it, so now we're going to try to see if it'll start. So I was reading the manual, and there's a brake lever switch. I ended up having to, I put those together because I was watching a lot of videos on this, and people said that that brake thing has to be together, like it's like you're hitting the brake to start it, and so I'm bypassing that. Everything's hooked up. I guess I'll just spray a little. And now I'm going to take the air cleaner off real quick to see if that's, so I could actually get a better shot in the carburetor. Stuff like made this foam up. Alrighty, let's try this again. So guys, there it is. Kind of got it running. All we now next step is to get it ready for a test run. Alright guys, so I'm working on the wiring, as you can see here. We actually got a good amount of wiring out. Like, I know it looks like a lot, but this black wire is the ground, and there's a lot of wire for that. And this is the starter solenoid, and that's going to be mounted up here. This is for the battery. We're having the battery up front, so there's a little more weight up front, so hopefully it could turn better, because with Stanley it's harder to turn, so we figured if we could have some weight up front to make it turn better. And then I welded this conduit piece on because we're going to have the front wire go through this conduit wire and then run up to this hole right here. There's a bunch of holes to choose from, so we chose this one. And then we got all the rest of the wires here. And then this stuff like the CDI and the coil, we're gonna hide in this box here. And we picked this old lunch box so it looks like a little toolbox. So we got that, and the wiring is going to run through this conduit up to here into this toolbox pretty much. So I'm going to finish wiring it up. We actually got rid of a whole lot of wires, and we got rid of the key and the push button start for like the ATV style and the lights and all that stuff. So we just got the key, and if we run we're going to run lights on this, we're just going to wire it up ourselves, like the lights. So I'm going to wire it up, and then I'll show you guys once I'm done. Watch out. So we're back at it with the go-kart. I neatened up the wires a bit. I still have stuff to do. Again, they're running through that conduit. I have the key and the kill button, or kill switch, which is a button, hooked up but zip tied in. I have the battery up here. Everything's hooked up, but it runs neatly along and then through this conduit into the back to the engine. Right now we're going to try to do a test drive. I got the chain on, I got a brake, and I just rigged this gas tank up here for now. I got to put gas in it, and then we'll actually see if it moves forward and back like with the that I did. So I'm going to put gas in it, and then I'll drive it up front and do a little test drive, and hopefully the turning's better on this one. The last clip you saw, I was pushing Mikey to test it. It turned pretty good when pushing, but I don't know how it'll do with the actual engine. So let me put gas in it, and I'll catch you guys up front. Alright guys, so first test drive was done. Lost a few nuts, cracked a few welds, so it's back on the drawing board. But yeah, so it's a little fun. We have to change the gearing a bit because it just has a lot of torque. But anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to like, subscribe, leave a comment, and I hope you enjoyed your cruise down to Latch Road.